If you don't want spoilers, don't watch this part.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to spoil. This will be pretty brief.
Yeah.
But if you've seen the movie at this point and you want to know more what we thought about the parts that were not in the trailer. So we definitely thought Cole was going to be possessed or kind of was reincarnated in
through
Cole.
Cole. It did not happen that way.
Yeah.
Wasn't mad about how it happened.
No. I actually thought that was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Once they established, like, oh, Scorpion went to hell.
Yeah.
And they show him kind of wandering around in there. It's conceivable either way. When he shows up, you're kind of like, I mean, I believe that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
It worked.
I believe that. I like the idea of, what did they call it? Bankai? Their stands or whatever? Everybody has a stand? Not a stand, but they're not literally. But I mean, like...
it's like their ability.
Yeah, they gave an actual reason for them to shoot lasers and fireballs
out of their eyes
stuff
and
like
yeah.
That actually like
it's within them, and and once they're marked, it comes out, and you have to find your inner strength basically.
I was like, this is a new idea that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I dug it.
And
it made sense. Yeah,
it made perfect sense.
It worked, and
like it's just enough magic.
Yeah,
that when Jax suddenly gets the things, because I was sitting the whole time, I was kind of like, like, I know those aren't his final
Yeah,
parts.
I was like, that can't be.
I've seen it in the trailer. I'm like, how are we going to get from point A to point B?
Yeah, from that
and how are they going to explain how these Shaolin monks know, like, do they have degrees in robotics?
Right, like how did that happen?
Where does this come from? Oh, it's magic.
It's magic.
Got it.
Thanks, guys.
Got it. I was like, that's a cool idea.
Yeah. Explanation. In a movie, you need an explanation.
They give them that stuff for like tournaments and competitive. They're like, oh, we need to think about gameplay, but they don't think about it in the story.
Yeah.
So when all you have is a story in a movie setting, it's
you have to have an explanation.
We have to have a reason for it.
Yeah, and it worked out really well.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Actually,
because then like no matter who has powers, you're like, oh, you're a warrior. You're a chosen fighter.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
I get it. Yeah.
Cool.
Like,
I don't totally like. Cole's is he wears a suit.
It's like a subset of Scorpion. Like
yeah,
I don't think he's completely found his yet.
You think it's evolving?
I think it's evolving.
Okay. That's a good idea.
Just because like
your prediction for the next movie. Is that
I was like, it'll progress a little bit because like he got kind of the armor, and like you could see as he got hit and punched and stuff, it kind of built up that energy.
Like Black Panther.
Yeah, like built up that energy, and then he could, he did his uppercut and released it. Was the uppercut? Yeah, and so I was like, and then he got his little things. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, but I think that like because he is connected to Scorpion, Scorpion has a lot of power.
Yeah,
I mean, he's also like a demon.
Yeah, he can't actually be killed.
Yeah, like he's already dead.
Yeah.
But since he does have some of that lineage in him, he is like biologically related. I think some sort of that power, some sort of something else is going to come from it. Because I also felt like it was incomplete. Like when I looked at it, when it was like, bloop, and then it stopped right here, and I was like, he needs a this thing.
Yeah.
He needs some sort of a here.
Every other character in Mortal Kombat has some kind of a mask or a face thing.
Or a hat or something, headband of some kind. So I feel like it's incomplete and that he will earn something else. Something else will come from it.
Yeah. I have a prediction that involves a spoiler. I think Kung Lao will be back in the second one, but I think it will be Shang Tsung, because he's a shapeshifter. He takes the form of people that he's killed. I think Liu Kang will come up to him and be like, you killed my father, prepare to die. And then he'll be like, no way, man, I ain't gonna do that. And then he'll turn into Kung Lao, and it's gonna be Liu Kang versus Kung Lao. Liu Kang will beat his ass, and then he'll turn back to Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
I could see that happening for sure, especially because he's such an iconic character, too. Like,
it was very sudden.
And, okay, so that's the thing, too, that I was kind of miffed about, but I assume something will happen, some sort of... We'll get to the time travel or something will happen, because I was like, dear God, they killed off so many of, like, the main characters in the game. Like, Melina,
Kano.
gone.
Yeah.
Kano,
Melina was
gone.
one-shotted
Yeah.
by Sonya.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing where I'm kind of like, see, I would be annoyed if a non-fan watched it and went, oh, that's Mortal Kombat, and look at Melina and be like, oh, it's just some weird creepy ghost thing. I'm like, no, it's not. It's a
She's
whole,
cool.
There's a whole history there.
Yeah,
and,
like,
God.
What's his face? The forearm guy. Goro.
Yeah.
Gone.
I expected some heroes to die, and I expected some villains to die.
Sure.
I did not expect all of the villains to die, minus Shang Tsung. I figured at least
just like
one of them was going to make it to the next one.
Cabal. Just gone.
Gone, I guess.
Gone. Like, all of these characters just died.
Yeah.
And it was, I'm like, yeah, like you said, it was like you expect a couple, because, I mean, that has to happen. But,
and it's Mortal Kombat.
Like, that's the whole point.
Reptile.
Oh, yeah, that was...
Reptile got it hard.
I barely got to be in the movie, and for the most of it, he was invisible.
He was invisible for most of it, and he looked like a dinosaur. Like, I'm so sick of Reptile just looking like a big lizard.
He looked like that lizard we saw at the zoo today.
He does. He absolutely does.
He definitely did. The one that had his tail hanging down.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what he looked like.
Like, again, like, if you were just watching the movie, you'd be like, oh, it's some monster thing.
Yeah, and also, what was with the weird bat lady?
Again, that is a Mortal Kombat character.
Is she? I don't ever remember her.
Well, we never. When they rebooted the series, they wisely left her out of it.
Oh, there you go. There's a
because
reason for
that
it.
was an era when they didn't exactly know what to do with they were trying to make Mortal Kombat like new every time. Like, what do we got? What can we do? What can we bring to this? And they literally said, let's introduce vampires.
And then they said, this was a bad idea. We take it back.
We take it back. I'm so
And they
sorry.
took it back hard.
So she is literally a vampire.
But she ate it so hard, and it was so funny.
Really hard.
I was just like,
Honestly,
oh my god.
God. That's so okay. That I'm kind of like, you can kill off a character like that. Not because she's necessarily hated. I know she has fans.
No, just because like.
But her backstory has so little to
do with everything else.
It's so non-important to every like.
She was taken out of the game.
She was taken out. She's not in the reboot.
So clearly it didn't matter that much.
It wasn't that important.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's fine. But
Nightwolf was like just a painting on a wall.
He was a painting on. Maybe we'll get him later.
Sure.
I would be into seeing him later.
They always say that Nightwolf is not a person; it's an entity that passes down. Kind of like with what we thought Scorpion was going to be. We thought it was going to take over the next person. Nightwolf has been a girl before.
Yeah. So
we could get Nightwolf
cool.
again. That'd be fine.
Cool.
My another prediction is that I think they're gonna stick to the games and they're going to make Bihan come back as Noob Saibot.
I can see that.
I don't know if they're going to call him that because that is a really stupid name.
It is.
For anyone that's not in the game, like not aware of the games already. Can you imagine with the amount of seriousness in this movie?
I'm Noob Saibot.
Even when he said, I am Sub-Zero, even I was kind of like, that sucks. That's stupid.
I'm Batman.
He's working for you. Of course he knows you're Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
He called you Bihan because you work together.
Like, he knew you before.
Yeah. It's not...
You could just say, like, I don't want to be called that.
Yeah.
We get it.
Sub-Zero's like your code name or whatever. What people know you by.
Yeah.
It's like Light. His real name is Light. But he goes by Kira because that's what people know him as.
Yeah,
people know
that's
Bihan
his stage
as Sub-Zero. It's a stage name. That's a good way of putting it. It's a stage name. Shang Tsung saying Bihan, I am Sub-Zero.
Yes.
Bihan...
I know
you're Sub-Zero.
I know you're Sub-Zero.
Can you just do what I ask you,
I see
please?
you.
Can you be gone, Bihan? Kano at least had a role in the movie.
Yeah.
And you kind of saw it, just in the sense of like, man, he's an asshole.
He's such a dick.
And when he nearly dies like 3 times.
Yeah, you're like, okay.
They kind of foreshadow that a little bit.
I really like... I don't know. I thought Raiden was kind of lame, unfortunately.
Raiden is lame in this
like,
movie.
He's supposed to be, like, so overpowered, you know? Like, he's a god.
He's a god, but he has literally... Again, it just goes back to, like, is this Intro to Drama 101? Because it feels like you guys are just reading your lines.
That and like,
it.
The only thing that we got... And I get it. I know that he... is like the god of lightning. Like, I know. I am very much aware. However, the only thing that we got to see him do was take his little staff and, like, you shall not pass it into the ground and shoot lightning up, and then we got to see his lightning shoot down to transport people.
Yeah.
And that was literally it. And I was like, there is so much more cool shit that he can do.
Why wasn't he the one teaching them?
Yeah, I don't
like,
know.
Liu Kang and Kung Lao obviously are more experienced.
Sure, absolutely.
And, but they're disciples. Like, I kind of figured they would be helping and Raiden would be leading, like, you know, a leader does.
Yeah,
if he's leading Earthrealm's defense against the bad Outworld, thank you. Almost said Netherrealm, that's not it. Netherrealm's the developer of this dude.
Yeah.
If he's spearheading the defense against Outworld, he has a really hands-off approach. Mm-hmm. Like, are you just the regional manager here that doesn't actually get involved? Yeah, are you just sitting in your chair with your coffee and just waiting around? Yeah, Raiden didn't hardly do anything.
No, and it was really disappointing. I was just like, because I don't mind Raiden either. Like, I will say that Raiden in the other,
oh my god.
Yeah.
Night and day.
Like, that's what I expect.
OG Raiden doesn't technically on screen doesn't do a whole lot of things, but he explains things because he knows everything.
He knows everything. He's a god.
Everything. He steers them in the right directions personally, and he gives them advice.
Yeah.
Like a leader does.
Would do. Yeah.
And the Raiden in that movie, according to the rules, cannot get involved in the fights because he's immortal.
Yeah.
It would be against the rules. It's mortal combat.
It wouldn't be fair, yeah.
In this, the tournament has not happened yet. He can do more
whatever
things.
He wants.
Yet he sits on his ass and does nothing but insult the characters
and
give them nothing to do.
He basically just he's like, oh, Sonya, you can't play. Dumb girl, you can't play. They tried to make it seem like it was a plan set in place all along for Cole. I want to call him Carl constantly. For Cole to go back to his family to then be attacked to find his inner strength to get his power or whatever. They try to set it up that Raiden had that plan all along and this was all part of the plan.
Yeah,
and he has the line, he's like, oh, thanks for giving my blah 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 blah. And I was like, okay, but that didn't. I was like, but that didn't seem to work out like you knew it was going to. Like, if this was your plan, now if we're going off the games,
put Cole's family
in danger, and not only Cole's family, but literally everyone else in the party who's supposed to be defending Earthrealm. Everyone at that temple was then put in danger because of some BS plan that he put forward to get Cole to find his inner strength. Like, that doesn't... I mean, now, if we're going off of the games, then yeah, like, Raiden screws up everything all the time. So, like, then yes, we're playing right into that card.
Yeah.
But, like, also, Raiden is supposed to be fairly intelligent, and, like, he's a god,
in the games, Raiden does the best with what
he has
given.
Yeah,
they feel like natural conclusions that he's coming to.
Yeah, I was like, this seemed like some scheme that
Raiden
didn't go well.
Did the whole go see your family, I was like, this is just so we can have a fight scene outside of the temple.
Yeah, of here.
And it felt really forced.
Yeah, and then it tried to play it off like oh, it was a plan all along, and I was like, no, because then. Like, because they didn't know, because that means he would have known that Kano was gonna ruin the shield thingy, and that they were gonna come at that exact moment.
And guess what? Kung Lao died as a result.
Yeah, and they would have had no idea. Like, they didn't know that Cole went back to see his family. They didn't know that.
No.
So why would they show up at that exact moment when he left to attack? They had no idea. They didn't
no one
know.
asked Cole, like, where were you?
Yeah.
After they went to the void, everyone was just kind of like, oh, hey, here's everyone.
Yeah.
It's like, y'all weren't curious.
The only person who knew was Sonia.
That would have led to a bit like, oh, I went to go see my family. You bailed on us?
Yeah, like, thanks,
and
man.
And that would have led to a internal conflict of, our friend died because if you had been there, you could have helped.
Yeah, you could have helped us. I mean, like, he showed up later, but too little too late, my dude.
Both sides would have not been wrong because Cole needed to defend his family.
He did.
But they also needed his help at the temple.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have had
and
that
his
moment
family
of
wouldn't have
weakness.
been in danger.
See how this potential movie is more interesting than the movie that we got?
And, like, again, like, I still liked the movie, but, yeah, it was just, like, there were a couple...
15 more minutes.
Yeah, there were just, like, a couple of things where I just wish it would have been a little more fleshed out or just, like, reworked in a different way.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I was just, like, Raiden seems very unimportant, and that's not how it is. Like, Raiden is really important.
Yeah.
And...
he's an idiot in the games.
Yeah.
And he's a badass in the original movie.
Mm-hmm.
It
needed to be the best of both of those.
Yeah. Either the best of both, or just copy-paste one of the other.
Pick one or the other and call it a day.
Yeah, but this being neither...
Yeah, because they barely had him there, and they didn't really have him do anything. And except for...
at the end, he's a utility to
get them out.
To literally just teleport them to fight scenes.
Yeah.
I was like, that's really disconnected, but okay. Like...
yeah, like, oh, you can send anybody anywhere? We each get our own stage. Which, like... it's a cute idea.
That's jerking off fans.
Yeah, I was like, that's
really
a cute
hard.
idea. But not completely necessary.
No.
Also, like, with that, because that's one thing, and, like, it didn't ruin it for me, and I was fine with each of them having their own stages and things like that, but, like, we don't know, because as far as I knew, when... after the void or whatever... or, like, once they were in the void, as far as I knew, all of those bad guys were still in the temple.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
So, and then, like, I mean, they can travel also by smoke. It's plausible that they would have gone back to Outworld. Like, that makes perfect sense that they would go back, but...
Melina did leave, but the other, like, it's plausible that they all could have left.
Yeah, but and when I say they all could have left, I assumed then that they would have left together. Because they all arrived together. Yeah. I didn't think they were coming from different parts of Outworld that he then smoked them all into. Yeah. The only one I was aware of him transporting to a different location was the Goro to fight Cole. That was the only one I knew he transported separately to that, because he wasn't there. Which I don't know how he knew that, but it's okay. We're gonna just let that go. But, like, yeah, when they did leave, I assumed they all left together. So then, why were they all in separate places then for each of these heroes to fight in a separate place? Because as far as I was concerned, they were all still together.
It also kind of breaks the movie when you have the revelation that Raiden has the ability to teleport not just himself and his friends, but other people. Mm-hmm. Because then that means that the second that they storm the temple, Raiden could have just teleported them away.
Yep, and not
just
even
keep doing that.
Yeah, I was like, and wouldn't even have to put up the shield.
You don't have to put up the shield if you can just teleport them anywhere.
Yeah, then.
At the end of the movie, he banishes Shang Tsung and says, "You're going back to Outworld," and then he does it. I'm like, if you
leave now.
If you can just do that, the
then
wall
do it the
was not
first
necessary.
Time. Yeah.
The wall wasn't necessary. The invasion didn't need to happen.
No.
Kung Lao could have been saved.
Yep.
Maybe he is just as incompetent
as the games. Yeah, I was like, maybe that's just maybe they did copy paste and that's just it.
But in the games, it never comes off as a plot hole.
No.
It's just because he's guessing wrong.
Yeah.
What he has to work with isn't much.
No.
And the one can come at me and say that this new movie blows all other Mortal Kombats out of the water. You don't even we can all agree that Christopher Lambert is the best Raiden, and that this movie does not do Raiden justice.
Yeah, poor Raiden kind of got the shaft. Now, I did appreciate seeing Sonya through the hole.
Yeah, that was good.
That was funny.
Yeah.
I was like, I get it. I got that one.
Yeah. It just feels like kind of a waste.
It was because she's so cool. I know she's a bad guy.
I know she's a bad guy.
But she's so cool.
And
I wish she would have had more time. I wish there would have been more for her to do. But maybe she'll be back. I assume she'll be back. She's important. Everyone, go watch this movie solely so I can have the second one so I can see Johnny Cage, end of story.
Yeah.
Just let it play. I don't even care if you watch.
Maybe they'll get a different editor for the next one.
Or at least like 2, maybe.
Or 2. Yeah. And maybe we'll have a bigger budget.
Yeah, I was like, if this one does well and they have like an even bigger budget, and you know, and also like I do have to commend them for getting all of this done and out during a pandemic. That can't be easy.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're good. We'll be back to talk about more. I might do a follow-up video to break this down a little bit more. It's better than Godzilla vs. Kong.
I only watched a little of that movie. I was doing my homework.
You probably had more fun during that than the movie.
I don't know, but